So for the next presentation, this would be the best presentation on the whole thing if it wasn't from the other guys that were actually better. But you know, this is going to be about joysticks, so and you guys got one of the best joysticks guys in the world, so you should be happy. So this is Javier Rivera. Here we go. Oh, we got to connect. Thank you. How do you open it? Oh, sorry, thanks. Bueno,
¿Listo?
bienvenidos.
Claro que sí.
¿Cómo están? Mucho gusto. Soy Javier Rivera.
My name
Me
is
da mucho
Javier.
gusto.
My name is Javier Rivera.
Les voy a presentar cómo arreglar joysticks. Más vale que hablen muy bien mi idioma porque yo no los voy a traducir.
I'm going to talk to you about joysticks today. I'm the world's expert on joysticks.
Y la verdad es que estoy muy contento de estar aquí, pero ustedes deberían estar más contentos porque estoy yo aquí. Así que eso está muy bien.
I was born in Mexico City. I was an orphan. I apprenticed with the best joystick maker in the world who lives in Mexico City.
And that's it.
That's it.
No. It's just for fun. So, for real now, thank you very much. Sorry, we're just trying to make a little bit funny. This is going to be very layman's, very relaxed. I'm just going to try to share the knowledge that I have of fixing joysticks. You know, I just love joysticks, as you have seen in Facebook. I just try to buy them and fix them and try to make them, you know, as new. So what will we cover? How joysticks work, most found issues, good and bad items, good practices and maintenance. So what is not covered? Technical data. So don't expect me to know any technical data. I'm a very bad technician. I don't know the terms. I don't know, you know, the voltages and all this. I just, you know, touch it, zap myself, and if it doesn't work, you know, I try it again. So, sorry guys. No complex diagrams, no electronic diagrams. You know, we're gonna have to get somebody that has brains for that. So I'm not the guy for that. But again, I have fixed a lot, so I know some of them. So here we go. Joysticks 101. So what's a joystick? Joystick is a little device that translates the movements to the computer, you know, up and down, you know, X and Y. And these joysticks, the Apple joysticks, differ to Atari because these joysticks have, you see I'm nervous now, these are called potentiometers, thank you very much, instead of switches. So whoever wants to use an Atari joystick, we're out of luck. You can use them, but they're very limited, and you can use a translator, and the translator it do a fair job, you know, but most games won't be able to take them. So, what breaks? That's the important thing. What breaks on the joysticks? Mostly just the switches. The potentiometers are the most common issue, and of course cables. A cable got disconnected, got cut. Those are the most important things, or the things that mostly get bad on the joysticks. So, the switches. Switches, and I'm showing the wrong one for this kind of thing. The switches that break a lot are actually the ones from the Apple joystick. And these switches get, I don't know why, with time they really get rusted, get bad. And you can really recover them, but you can put a lot of deoxide in it and just click it 1,000 times. It will work, but I've seen that with time they will go bad back again. So I recommend it to the Apple ones to replace them really faster. There are other kinds of joystick switches. I'm sorry, but most the ones that mostly get bad are the Apple ones. The ones from the CH are the other way. They're sturdy. They're very, very good. They're actually they're switches. They're computer switches, like the Apple II keys. So they're very, very strong, very sturdy, and I have never found one that doesn't work. So those are these. That's what I like. I like this. Okay, on the scale, the one that I most like is actually the CH. The CH for me is the tank, and it's the best of all of them. Why? Because it's very sturdy, it's very well made. All the components are really, really strong. And every time I fix one, they come up right away. And when you play with it, they're very elegant, they're very easy to use. You can really treat them bad, and they'll respond very well. So this is my favorite, of course. My second favorite is the Apple one. It's also very good quality. The only problem with it is the switches. But it's also very strong and powerful. Another thing that I like about the CH is the button on the top. There are games that you want to actually, do it with the two hands to kill the aliens or something like that. This is more difficult to do that. So, it's of course a matter of choice. Again, the things that break are the switches. The switches can be cleaned. It's hard. It's easier to replace. Some are key switches, and they're still available. They're Jameco and what other one? There's a couple of places that you can get them, and I'll send you the links to the places and the exact number. They have the exact replacement, so there's no problem of yeah, DigiKey and Mouser. You're right. Okay, this is another problem, potentiometers. And this is where I had the most problems. And a lot of times I kind of discarded some of the joysticks because I couldn't get it. Actually, I spent months trying to first replace them, get them from China. I bought different potentiometers, and every time I got them, they were or smaller, or they were thicker, or the connection was different. So I'd never been able to really find a good replacement for the Apple ones or for the CH. They are 150 something ohm, thank you, and they're hard to get, and the ones you get them are a lot smaller. They don't make them anymore. So I was really sad. I had a lot of these ones, but now I found the solution thanks to Sark. He taught me how to do it. He showed me, and since then I've been just cleaning and fixing all of them. And I'll show you how to do that. That's by adding a capacitor. Actually, I got to show it to you right now, and hopefully you can see it. We can see it at the end if you want. There's a capacitor in between those. Okay. And then when you put this over here, it actually will restore. Normally, the problem is that they get old, and they don't do the full 255. As you can see, this is one of the programs that I use a lot. Because, there's a way to do it with code, but this is easier, Computer inspector, MECC computer inspector. And it shows you with a graphic where you can go, and 255. Normally, when the potentiometers are not good enough, they go all the way to like 211, 190, something like that. They don't go farther. The same on the other ones. So when they do that, what you do is you add that little what did we say it was? Capacitor. I got some issues, but I keep on forgetting. So you add the capacitor in between them, and voila, it goes immediately over there. Same here. It shows the button 1, button 2. So I love this one because I always connect it, and I have the joystick open, and I can move it around and see what's happening, and then just of course, test it and then disconnect it, because once I was dumb enough to begin to solder when it was connected, and my computer reset it. Thank God nothing happened, but you got to be careful. Learn it from me. I'm very good at breaking things. So again, that capacitor trick has restored almost all my joysticks. That comes to cables. So cables, I get a lot of broken connectors, broken internal cables, and DB9 and DB9 and 16 pin. I love the DB9. I don't like the 16 pin. I know it has history and all that, but it's really, those pins they bend very easily. It's more a pain than a pleasure to use them. So mostly what I do is when I get them, if they're complete, I try to just keep them safe. But if not, I just cut them and put a DB9 connector, because I use things. I don't just save them. So one of the other things that also you got to be very careful. I actually once found one of the joysticks had a cable broken like in the middle, and I have to move it like this for it to work. So I knew that there was a broken connector, and I had to go in there and cut it in, and then cut it, patch them in between them again, and it worked again. So those are also some of the problems that you can find. The places that they broke most is near of course, the connector over here, or near the joystick, of course. One other thing that I've been doing, diagnostic. How do you do the diagnostic? The first one is, of course, using your program the MECC. That's, I recommend it 100%. Always connected over there. You can do continuity testing. Continuity testing is, of course, with help there? Multimeter, there you go, thank you. With a multimeter, or you can put just a very easy thing like I do once. I didn't, before I had a multimeter, I just put a battery with a little lamp, and then when you put them together, it lights up. So you just begin to play with it, and when to make sure that the cables, put it on one side, and then on the other one, you see if they really have continuity, because if not, maybe caught in the middle of them. So start simple, use common sense, be careful, don't break things before it's not time for it to do. So again, the way to fix it, I thought it was more complex, and I'm going to show you at the end how they are. They're very simple things. Joysticks have 6 cables actually. So one is the ground, the other one is the power, and then we have 4 more, 2 for X and Y, and then 2 for the buttons. So it's actually very, very simple, and when you find out that, it will be easier for you to begin to figure out what's happening over there and what's the problem. For the switches, you just desolder the switches and resolder one feet at a time, so you don't put them the other way. So you desolder one side of the feet. It has 4 feet. Desolder these 2, take it out, and then solder the new one over here. And then when you have the new one over here, then desolder the remaining ones and put it back again. So that way you don't, oh, how was it? Oh, am I putting it correctly or something like that? Just do it simply and take time to avoid confusion, because I get confused very easy. So I hopefully you don't, but just in case. Take a photo of the cables before starting. I always do that. I open the joysticks, take a photo of how it looks right now, take a closer photo, because sometimes I begin to disconnect things, and then, where was this cable in? And I don't remember how to put it in. So take a photo is very easy, and then you will remember, you will be able to find out things easier. Here it is. This is the information. Low potentiometers, that's 4700 MF capacitor, Microfarad, between pot connectors to restore full strength. And that's what I just show you. This is like since Sark showed me that, I've been fixing like left and right, and everything has been a lot easier for me. That's like the main thing that happens with potentiometers. And because you cannot replace them, that trick will fix like 97% of them. Again, how to fix cables, resolder connections, test continuity, cut and reattach cable if needed. Replace DB9 connector with a new one. That's what I do, and that's one thing that I'm going to show you also. What I've been doing lately, and this is no secret or anything, the CH joysticks are very sought, and the Apple ones are expensive because people like them and they're very good and all this. But the little secret that up to today is not going to be any secret anymore is that there's a PC version, and they sell very, very cheap, and it's exactly the same joystick. It just have a different connector. So what I do is I cut it and I reattach it with a normal connect, the Apple II connector. I just put the right cables, and we're good. And lately, what I've been doing is actually I cut it on the side because this is rubber. So I cut it over here, take out the PC connector, and then I put the Apple II connector, and of course glue it. You will not have any screws anymore, but at least it will look almost original. If you don't know about this, you think this is an original one, and you have a beautiful joystick for half of the price. So that's what I've been doing, replacing the DB9 connector. And this is the diagram that I created because I don't understand, diagrams. So, people send me, oh yeah, look at this diagram, look at this other one, and I don't get it. I just want to see where the cable goes from here to here. And I made my own diagram, so it's very easy. I'm showing you what is the button 1, the 5 volts, x-axis, y-axis, the button 0, and the ground. And then where does it go on the joystick? And this is for all the joysticks. Sometimes what it changes is the color of the cables. And actually, in the Apple II FAQ website that I have a couple of the diagrams with the exact colors of the CH and the exact colors of the Apple joystick. So you can just open those, and it's just the same kind of diagram. You just follow like that, put the cable like it is, and you got it working right away. So I think I went kind of fast, but I wanted you guys to see everything, how it works. I also wanted to show you adapters. There's a bunch of adapters, of course, for DB9 to the old 16 connector. There's actually, I've been playing also with new technologies, this is, I think, for the Nintendo or those little connector joysticks. You can make them work with an Apple II. You just got to put a bunch of those capacitors, and it will work just like a normal Apple II. We can pass this later too, so you can see it. Again, what I do is I have this little kit. So this is the connector that I use. It's a normal DB9 connector. This is the switch for the Apple joystick. It's a brand new one from Jamaica or all those other guys, and you just open it and replace it. And this is it. And what I wanted to have is more like questions and answers, and I want your feedback more than anything. So any questions?
So replacing the switch, I assume you're soldering it all.
Yep. But like I say, what you do is it's easy. You just desolder two, move them, and then begin soldering these other two. So take out two, take them out, put this one, and then desolder the other ones and resolder. So you make it easy, so you don't forget and you don't lose or don't know what it is.
I assume you take the top of the joystick off.
Yeah. Oh, that's another thing. If you guys want to know, most of the joysticks, they have the screws underneath, under the rubber feet. So you gotta just remove the rubber feet, lightly. Be careful, but it will get off. Oh, the Apple one has only two, and they're exactly not where I took it out, but you just took. Of course, that's my luck. But Apple II has only two, and the CH has four. But most of them are underneath, and you just take them out, and you have it open, and there's everything in there. You can actually take everything out. Just gotta be careful, and again, take photos. That's what I do all the time, and that's because most of the time what happens is that you forget where the things were, and you see? Yeah, you can disassemble everything. And sometimes what I do is also when I restore them, I retrowrite them. Some of them are rusted over here. I take it off and I clean it and make sure that everything is working well. Oil it sometimes a little bit. Make sure that everything is pristine, and test it a lot with the application.
What do you like to clean and oil it with?
I normally do deoxit for almost everything. Deoxit. So deoxit in the potentiometers. And just a little bit in the where it runs, but almost nothing. Just make sure, because sometimes some joysticks are really, really full of dirt and dust, and so what you got to do is clean them up really well, and then just a little bit so it really runs smooth. But they normally are pretty strong. Yep.
How much difference is there between like the CH joysticks in terms of like if you get two of them, are they going to be perfectly identical, so you can just switch parts between them, or are there different?
Yeah, it's only color. It's only color.
Even between like the C1 and
the only difference that I seen, and it's I think just aesthetical. Oh, do I have it here? I thought I had another one. Well, no. Oh yeah, there it is. So this is an original Apple one, and this is a PC one. And the Apple one doesn't have couple of like a little holes with a little lever over there, but actually I found out that doesn't work because you cannot really move it with your fingers. That moves when you move this little thing. So it's just, I think it's just the only difference. The PC, I don't know why they they have those little holes over there. If you cannot even move them with your finger, you got to do it with that one. But that's the only thing. And you can interchange pieces, you know. They're the same exact things, just different colors.
Javier, when you take off the rubber feet from the Apple one,
Uh-huh.
is it glued on? Do you glue it back on?
Yeah, sometimes it's glue. Sometimes it retains the glue. And sometimes, you know, when you take it out, it goes. So it breaks. So the only thing you got to do is you got to use rubber cement, like the, yeah, in the future to put it back. I think there's one that's called 6000. That's what I use. It's like a gray one. And that rubber cement, you know, it takes a little bit to dry, but when you put it in, it stays there. And next time you got to take it out, it doesn't break anything. It doesn't do anything. It's like rubber again. It's like, you know, using it the same thing again. Other questions? Yep.
I have a joystick that was in storage for several years, and there were at least some games, like Robotron was one where you would use the joystick to move around and use the keyboard to fire.
Uh-huh.
You didn't have a second joystick. And some of the feet on the bottom of the joystick had melted
Good one.
while it was in storage. So now it doesn't sit flat to be able to move the joystick with one hand.
Yep. You can get replacements of most of them. The Apple ones, well, as you can see, the Apple ones and the CH ones are the same. And I have found them mostly on eBay. I heard that they sell them on other sites, but you know, the guys from eBay, they're called for Atari. They say it's Atari joystick feet, rubber feet. But it's,
The ones on mine were square, and they were about a quarter-inch thick.
those are,
Much bigger than what you have on those.
I think those are very close to the ones that you have in your drives, Herbert. The square ones, rubber.
Yeah,
And where do you get those? Because I think those are kind of common.
I bought them at it's Active Electronics in Calgary. They're Active is just, they sell electronic parts in Canada. I'm sure you can find them.
Yeah, I think they're not that difficult to get.
They're not that hard to find.
Yeah.
It's not like it was an Active specific product. I can't remember the name of the brand name of the packaging, but it looked like a bluish kind of a card bag.
The only ones that are very hard to get are there's one of the CH, the brown one. It has brown feet, and those brown feet are really hard to get. But those are the only ones that are the difficult ones. The black ones, you can find them almost everywhere. Yep.
So I have a joystick where one of the buttons seems to be like stuck down. Perhaps it's an adhesive, perhaps there's something wrong on the inside. Have you encountered this, and if so, how would you solve it?
No, I haven't, but most likely it's either broken, it has a little spring in the middle, maybe the spring is bad. You're gonna have to open it and either replace the whole thing or try to replace only the spring, of course. Yeah. Anybody? Yep. Oh, and next to you.
Could you talk about how the centering springs work?
So yeah, great. Center spring is two little pieces of plastic over here that you move on the side. Sometimes they're very, and I'll show you over here, so it allows you to run free, or then when you put them back again, it will go back to the center again. And it didn't go all the way. There you go. And they're pretty sturdy, you know, after 30 years, they're still, and what it is, there's a couple of springs over there. I know you can see them. There's a spring over here and a spring over here. And when you move those little plastic things, they will just open the spring, so the spring doesn't force it anymore. And then when, of course, you let it go, it will force it again to center. So it's mechanical. And they're pretty sturdy. I've never found one that is bad. And when you find one that is like that, it's just like it was popped out or the spring went out, but you just put it again and it works.
Did you ever find the trim pods get broken or
Just dirty. I broke pods trying to fix them before the potentiometer fix. I actually tried to open them and try to clean them, and when I put them together, they never work again. So they're very, very delicate. I would never recommend to. I've seen people that open them and clean them up and all that, but on my experience, it's very advanced. What I try to do is, the most thing I do is I put some deoxit on the side and just move them to make sure that it kind of clean. I heard that because it has like a carbon on top, that carbon, begins to wear out, and you got to replace that carbon. How do you put carbon in a piece? It's very complex. So better try to just fix it like that. And again, I broken actually potentiometers with that. Yep.
I'm just curious, have you or will you maybe create a video actually showing beginning to end disassembly, spring?
I've done them. I've done it in my Hubmaster YouTube. I have a couple of them. That the only problem is that creating videos like this, it's a little bit tedious, to be honest, because it takes a long time to disassemble things, and you got to do things very closely. And when you get a camera, you try to move some things, and you get in front of the camera. So I can do it.
You're still photogenic.
Yeah, no, I'm not. That it's not about me. It's about the joystick. Yeah. So. And I put my hands over there, and it's hard to make videos on small things like that. But yeah, I'll do another one. Yeah, no problem. But yeah, sure.
This is invaluable, but actually seeing the full process.
Sure.
You should check out your videos, but that would really help.
Yeah.
Someone that's never done it feel more comfortable approaching it.
Sure. And again, you can also send me messages or anything like that. There's people actually that send me their joysticks to get fixed. But I try to people to learn. The other things that I do is, again, I'm going to convert this one. This is from Dave. I'm going to convert this one for Apple II, and it's very easy. Just cut the cable, put the. And you'll sell it to him. Yeah, and I'll resell it to him. No problem. And these are good too. The only thing I don't like is they don't have a button in the middle. That's personal thing, But these buttons are pretty good always. So. Most joysticks are very sturdy. I don't like some of them, like the KC3, because the plastic is kind of cheapy, and when they break, it's mostly the electronics, and I don't like that because you got to be fixing the electronics. I'm not very good at that, so I prefer these things that are almost half mechanical, and they're very, very strong. You drop them and no problem. I'm not gonna drop them bad. Other questions? Yep. Sorry. Well, I don't know. That was weird. But that was fun, huh?
Yeah. No, what about using like null modem cable with the 9-pin connector? Can you just cut that off?
Yeah. Well, you gotta make sure that it has. Oh, that's another very good point. Some joysticks, you can see that they're missing. When you see inside, they're missing connectors. Because some people, they only need 6 connectors. So you got to make sure that the connectors on the connector match the ones that the joystick are going to use. So be careful the pins, because I tried once. I was talking to Charles. He sent me a mouse cable, and I wanted to replace it for a joystick, and the pins didn't match, so I couldn't make it work. So that's very, very important. Yep. Well. Yeah. Just redo everything. Other questions? I think we're good. Now let's tell Javier. Okay, you gotta go, Javier. Thank you very much, guys. And any question you can ask me offline.